going on? It's MassiveJoes RAW review, and I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Awesome raw review for the viewers at home today on an all-new foundational supplement from our good friends at Cellucor, makers of the stupid popular C4 Extreme pre-workout, the delicious Cellucor COR-Performance Whey, and the super strong Super HD Fat Burner. It is, of course, Cellucor COR-Performance Creatine in the house. Let's get straight. Actually, before we get straight into it, the first thing I have to point out is the one thing I love about Cellucor is they just don't give a man. Seriously, check out this label. They've just gone, you know what? Cellucor Creatine, and just stopped it at the T and just labeled over the label, man, and just said, you know what? The labels don't fit the tub. We don't give a single we're just gonna go with Cellucor Creatine. That just made me laugh the first time I saw that. Let's get straight into it, show exactly what's in it, tell you exactly what it's gonna do. That nutritional information panel ain't gonna get it done. We're about to go balls deep. In this here raw review, luckily, got ourselves one of these big ass nutritional information panels for the viewers at home. Starting from the top, and actually even before we start, I have to point out, because this does change a little bit when we start talking about the serving size and the dosages. It does come in an unflavored and then a flavored version. In the unflavored version, which is a nutritional information panel we're about to go balls deep in, there's obviously no flavors and there's 50 serves per tub. In the flavored version, there are artificial colors and flavors and there's 30 serves per tub, and they do retail for $5 difference. Now we can continue. Unflavored, serving size 8.2 grams. You got yourself 50 of them bitches in one of these unflavored bitches. In the flavored versions, serving size, and we're going to go off the label for this one if I can get some zoom and focus action, please. Serving size is 11 grams. Now, you know the unflavored has 8.2 grams. It tells you it's about 25% artificial colors, artificial flavors. And you also know the serving size is 30. So you got 30 of their one serve, one scoop bitches and one of these flavored bitches. Moving right along, in terms of what the serving size are actually made up of, got yourself some phosphorus, some sodium, and some potassium. 350 milligrams, 290 milligrams, 320 milligrams respectively. Then you got your Pure creatine monohydrate, the best type of creatine monohydrate we have seen thus far, in the full clinical dose of 5 grams of creatine monohydrate. Moving right along, you've then got your what Cellucor are calling the Creazorb. It's a mixture of disodium phosphate and dipotassium phosphate, which if you move back up to the top, this is where the phosphorus, the sodium, and the potassium come from. 1.77 grams per serve. Cellucor would lead us to believe that this assists in the absorption of creatine. It's their own patent pending technology, so there's been no studies or anything done to show that it actually works. Moving right along, betaine anhydrous, aka trimethylglycine, 1.25 grams. That's almost a full clinical dose. Full clinical dose of betaine anhydrous, aka trimethylglycine, generally accepted to be 1.5 to 2 grams, so it's almost there. That's going to help with muscle power, man, help with a little bit of nitric oxide production as well. Then finally, you got your cinnamon PF, your cinnamon bark extract, 125 milligrams. This is really cool. This is an insulin mimicking extract of cinnamon. It actually upregulates glucose transport and provides an artificial spike in insulin. That being said, the full clinical dose is 250 milligrams, so it's about half a full clinical dose. But that's in there to help your body actually absorb the creatine monohydrate, because we all know the human body does not like to absorb creatine monohydrate, which is why you got to load on the shit. Moving right along, in the unflavored version, that's it. In the flavored version, got yourself some artificial colors, artificial flavors, and that's what's in it. Real simple supplement, man. It's obviously a creatine monohydrate based creatine with some other bits and pieces in there to help your body absorb that creatine. Me personally, viewers at home, those of you that watch raw reviews would know that I personally am not a big fan of creatine monohydrate. I much prefer hydrochloride because I think that I get better results with no side effects, and my body is much better at using and absorbing creatine hydrochloride than creatine monohydrate. But that is why Cellucor have kind of taken it to the next level and said, look, we understand that, we acknowledge that, That's why we're putting the Creosorb, the Cinnalin PF, and to a certain extent the trimethylglycine in there as well to make it a fully, well, not fully absorbable, but much more absorbable creatine monohydrate supplement. In terms of how it tastes, how it mixes, comes in 3 flavors. Comes in unflavored, comes in Granny Smith apple, aka green apple, comes in the blue raspberry. Let me show you guys, let me show you how it mixes, refresh my memory on how it tastes, man. Got ourselves the infamous MassiveJoes mixability test with the glass, with the spoon in his bitch. I'm gonna try the Granny Smith apple. And I'll let you know, viewers at home, this is my first personal try to supplement. You know I personally don't use creatine monohydrate, so I'm a bust hoping one of these bitches fresh. For the viewers at home, my personal first taste. And I f***ed up the bro punch. Man, Cellucor, you know what the thing is? I hate when Cellucor do this because their tubs are really flexible. So when you try and bro punch the shit, it actually absorbs the punch and you can't get in there. 3rd time lucky. Got it. There we go. Now we're talking. All right, let me grab myself a scoop of this here green Granny Smith apple Cellucor creatine. It actually smells good, man. It smells like, you know what it smells like? It's got the cinnamon extract. It actually smells like a apple strudel or apple crumble. It's got like a cinnamon apple taste to it. It actually smells a lot like MTS Greens, funnily enough. Apple cinnamon. All right, drop that in there. And let it rain, let it rain. Check that out. A few flicks of the wrist. Gonna show you guys how it mixes. Then I'm gonna refresh my memory on how it tastes. So you know there's a massive dose of creatine monohydrate in this bitch, man. You got 5 grams per scoop. And you know that creatine monohydrate usually does not mix very well unless it's micronized. And let's be honest, no company's spending the money micronizing creatine monohydrate. There's just no purpose. So check that out. That's mixed in a glass. Now you can see that is mixed pretty well. There are some floaters in there, and I can tell you as soon as that stops mixing, those floaters are going to sink to the bottom. It has already started. Can you guys see that there? You probably can't, but it is accumulating down the bottom. And that's quite typical of massive doses of creatine monohydrate. So it does mix in a glass with a spoon, but you'd have to mix it and drink it straight away. Therefore, I would go so far as to say blender ball is required. For this here Cellucor COR-Performance Creatine, let me refresh my memory on how it tastes. Well, actually, it's not even refreshing my memory. Let me discover how it tastes. That's what I'm talking about, that creatine sitting down the bottom. So blender ball is definitely required. Man, I gotta say, the cinnamon extract in there comes through very, very strong. That literally tastes like apple cinnamon. That is a very strong, not a hint of cinnamon, that's legitimately an apple cinnamon flavor. That being said, it is quite nice. It's quite a nice apple. Obviously, if you don't like the taste of cinnamon, you're gonna think it's shit. But I personally like the taste of cinnamon. So for me, it's quite a nice flavor. It's not too strong. It's actually quite good. I wouldn't go so far as to give it 2 thumbs up. I give it just the one thumbs up, Cellucor. In terms of the effects, I've already said, and you guys would know if you watch the raw reviews, I'm not a big fan of creatine monohydrate. For me, it generally causes me some digestion issues. I feel that sometimes it bloats me as well. And I think that when I compare it to creatine hydrochloride, my personal product I use is Creation Supplements HCl Pure Creatine Hydrochloride, I feel like I get better results because I'm getting better uptake of the HCl. The other reason why I personally don't like creatine monohydrate is I don't like all of the bullshit you have to go through to load it for the first week, man. And even Cellucor on the label here, in the maximum performance tips and the suggested use right there, get some zoom and focus action, please. They're actually telling you about the loading phase as well. So they're being honest with the viewers at home. They're saying to get the maximum amount of creatine monohydrate, you have to go through the loading phase. And then once you're through the loading phase, you can do your morning dose, your post-workout dose, your pre-workout dose, your maintenance phase, however you choose to dose it. Those are the reasons why I personally don't like creatine monohydrate. That being said, Creatine monohydrate is much better value for money per serve than hydrochloride, always, without exception. Even when you have a look at this proprietary blend, the pricing on this is still cheaper than creatine hydrochloride, most types of it. So there are a lot of people that use creatine monohydrate, and in particular the fellas in the office, man. I know Nevos still uses creatine monohydrate. I know Jack Daddy still uses creatine monohydrate. I know Swolbait occasionally uses creatine monohydrate. So even the fellas at MassiveJoes love themselves some creatine mono. Now in terms of this Cellucor creatine course, whatever the f it's called. Cellucor shit! Should have just called it creatine. Cellucor COR-Performance Creatine. The fact that they've put those other bits and pieces in there to help your body absorb the creatine monohydrate, and because of that proprietary blend, they're charging a little bit more for it. In terms of whether it's actually, if you were to compare it to just a plain creatine monohydrate, whether it's worth the extra dollars that you're paying for the cinnamon in there, the cinnamon extract, your TMG, your phosphorus blend that's gonna help your body absorb it. You know, for me personally, man, I think it's one of these products that if you have an issue with you want to stick to creatine monohydrate, but you got an issue with like a gastrointestinal issue, or you get the bad side effects with it, or you just feel like your body isn't absorbing it, but you want to stick to monohydrate because you like the studies, you like the science, that's when I would say possibly go and get yourself some of this Cellucor COR-Performance Creatine. Guys, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, man. Stay up to date with all the latest editions of MassiveJoes RAW Review. And guys, that is MassiveJoes RAW Review on the all-new Cellucor COR-Performance Creatine in the house. And I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com.